Welcome to the BNB Investing Podcast for real estate investors. Fix and flippers and realtors exploring investment options with Airbnbs and short-term rentals through acquisition, leasing, or management to generate consistent monthly revenue. Join us for a chat with experienced and successful short-term rental investors to hear their story of how they got started and created wealth by building scalable businesses. We also explore various service providers and lenders that help make our businesses more efficient and maximize revenue in this awesome sharing economy. Welcome your host, Rich Monroe.
Hey everybody, Rich Monroe here with B&B Investing Group. Thanks so much for jumping on this week. I'm pretty excited. I've got our friends here from Fund&Grow. I've got Amanda Webster that's going to walk us through kind of all the options that they have available for real estate investors. And I've actually used their service before and was quite pleased with it. We were able to complete several of our fix and flip projects that worked out really well. And so just as a reminder, B&B Investing Group is a group for real estate investors that are either already investing in real estate or aspiring to. And we kind of strategically look at the three different options for the short-term rental model. We look at master lease strategies, acquisitions, and of course, managing investors' properties as well. For those of you that are just jumping on, please throw something in the comments for us to let us know that you can hear us okay, and make sure that we are going to be off to a good start. Amanda's going to give us an overview of the business lines of credit program that Fund&Grow provides. And then we're going to be able to have a little bit of time towards the end to answer any questions. So feel free also to throw in the comments if you have any questions as we go through this, and we'll kind of tackle those at the end. So Amanda, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here.
Cool.
Do you want me to go ahead and just go into
Fund&Grow? Let's jump right into it.
All right. So Fund&Grow was founded by Ari in 2007. That model of business credit has changed a lot over the years. Even since Rich was a client, there's been a ton of positive changes in our industry, which is super beneficial for you guys if you don't have business credit yet. We have a membership. It's a 12-month membership that goes through, and we do all of it for you. It's a white glove service. So we go and get you up to $250,000 of 0% business credit. Of course, that 0% is for a set term. We usually look at between 12 and 24 months, depending on the different lender options. We are going after major lenders. These aren't just small, mom and pops. However, if you have a banking relationship with a bank who offers a business credit offer, we do also want to target that for you as well. So within that, we also offer up to $100,000 in corporate credit, which is vendor trade lines, a little bit different. But for people like you, whether it's you need to buy furniture or different things for the houses, there are certain trade lines out there that would be helpful. Even Amazon has a vendor trade line account that you can use through corporate credit. So we do all of it in-house. We'll apply, we negotiate, we overturn denials, and we do credit card stacking. So what we do is multiple rounds of actual applications and negotiations to get you up to that $250,000 or more. We do have plenty of clients who get more than $250,000 as well.
And so what are kind of the minimum requirements in the beginning from your experience that can get you some success?
So the lenders are going to look for 700 FICO score for the minimum requirement for their lending. Now, doesn't mean if you have a 695, you're going to, be unsuccessful, but 700 is the basic one that we're looking for. Anything above that is beneficial. 720 is the next point that's the most beneficial. So that's going to get you the best results is anything over 720. And then, of course, there's some tiers after that. You also have to make sure that you don't have any negative history that the banks care about. So we have a whole score sheet of information that we look at that the lenders specifically for the business side are looking at. This is business credit, so it doesn't report on your personal bureau reports, but it does look at them for risk assessment to make sure that you can be trusted with the money. But it is through your EIN as far as the business side, but it does pull your credit to make sure you're worthy. So there's some things on there like you can't have a bankruptcy showing up. Doesn't mean that if you had a bankruptcy that you can't get that off, there are ways to get those things off for your credit score. If you have, say, a 680 credit score, don't be discouraged. There are things we can coach you through to actually get you up to that 700 pretty quickly and easily. If there is some, if you have too many inquiries, sometimes it's a matter of just waiting a month, because you can have so many inquiries per 60 days, per 6 months, things like that. So there is a little bit more to it, but the baseline would be that 700 score. We do offer that we can get you a pre-qual, no charge to you. It is a soft pull. So you can basically, we can look at it, see what you have going on, and be able to give you a one-on-one consultation to tell you what you would need to have in order to qualify for the best results. The other thing that we always look at is your actual entity setup, because sometimes your structure of your entity can affect what the lender will give you, because they do look at that. So we assess that as well. And there are times where your entity is perfectly fine. And then there's times where we might want to set up a secondary LLC just for lending purposes. So we have all of that. All of that happens in our membership, and it's all included in a flat fee.
And so when I joined, I actually, even though I have multiple legal entities for our real estate business, you guys actually set up a specific legal entity just for this, to get lines of credit under that legal entity with a new EIN. And from what I recall, that particular legal entity doesn't require annual tax returns. It's almost like it's specifically set up just for the business line of credit. Is that right?
Correct. Yep. That's absolutely correct. And if you don't, you can use a sole prop, you can use LLC. We will, if it's a sole prop, we'll actually set that up for you if you don't have one already. And then if you want to do the LLC side, we can walk you through and even assist you with creating the LLC in any of the 50 states.
Okay, very cool. And so let's talk about, you said credit stacking, and you guys, that sounds like I'm going to get a bunch of pulls on my credit. So how does that work?
So each round, we're only going to go 3 to 4, max is 5 cards. And that's usually for a special case if we're doing some personal building within it. Typically, we're going to target 4 cards. So you are going to see 4 hard pulls on your credit when we go through funding. But again, because it doesn't report to your personal card or your personal credit, you can actually get those inquiries removed. So yes, temporarily they'll be there, but we coach you through, give you the information to get those removed as well. And then you have to have a period of rest. So 3 to 4 months to use the business credit cards to actually build the trust with those lenders, to then go back and hit them again. Same process, rinse and repeat. We're going to do the inquiries. We're going to get you another set of cards with those same lenders. We're then going to negotiate and even merge cards. So if we get you 2 chase cards through each round, we're going to merge into the new one, which is going to restart your 0% interest. And we're going to end up closing the other one. So you end up with 1 card with both credit lines on it versus having 2 different cards separated. And then remove those inquiries as well. So it's just a rinse and repeat. So temporarily, even when you're done with your last round and you're getting done with your membership, we're going to make sure you get those inquiries removed. We're going to make sure you have all the information you need to get those off of there.
All right. And then so someone that's fairly not that familiar with business lines of credit, is it just a different underwriting process that the lenders put it through? In other words, why can't I just go out and apply for a bunch of credit cards myself?
Well, Rich, you can. And I tell people all the time, you absolutely can. No different than anything else. You can. The difference is that when you apply for a credit card, business, personal, doesn't matter. You're applying through a computer. So it's an algorithm. It's a computer that's reading the data and saying whether or not you're approved. So in order to really get the business credit you need to actually be able to get to underwriting, get to these things, and be able to know how to negotiate and overturn those denials. So we actually do all of that for you, and I can provide you with case study after case study after case study of the auto approvals, which is what you would get on your own, versus what my team gets you through the process that we use. So yes, you can. Maybe you get like 20,000 and that's great. But then we can show you how we would have gotten you 80 or 100,000 for those same exact cards.
So it sounds like you have a team that's basically doing these negotiations on an ongoing basis. They have those relationships. And so it's just a matter of kind of filtering, your information through that process that you already have built. And rather than reinventing the wheel, That's kind of what you guys focus on. And so I guess the other advantage here too is that you guys know at any given time, which lenders are providing what kind of promotions, and so you can typically try to get, the 0% interest for 6 months and things like that.
Yeah, and even more than that. So let's say Bank of America, they're going to have multiple cards that have those 0% introductory offers. But we end up being able to find out which one is the bank pushing currently. The banks specifically tend to push certain cards that they want to get clients into. So they will deny you on one card and approve you on another just because they want to get you in that specific offer. So we actually know which ones to target, and our negotiators are full-time. That's what they're doing, but it's one-on-one. So they're assigned your file. They go through everything with you. They're building a plan that's specific to your credit profile and your relationships that you have, so that we know exactly the best ones to target, what order to target them in, and all the information in between. So yes, they are full-time here. And I will tell you, one of the other pieces that people don't always remember that's a huge bonus for you is the amount of time that the negotiators have to spend on the phone doing these things. I mean, unless you have hours and hours of your day to do that, which most people in real estate investing and all of these things don't have that kind of time. That's literally what they do all day, every day.
Okay, very cool. So 700 FICO score or better or close to it.
Right.
How long will it take from start to finish if we enroll tomorrow, for example? When am I able to start getting some of those lines of credit to start using?
So I always tell people, you drive that in some regards. So if you sign up today, get your portal filled out immediately. Fill out all the information that we need in order to get you into funding. Our application process is roughly 2 to 3 weeks. And what I mean by that is 2 to 3 weeks to actually having the approvals of those lenders. It can be as quick as I can get you in, but it is also dependent on you filling out the information. And if you have a current business, uploading, your proof of, your business or ownership, if you have multiple owners, there's all these different things that we have to make sure we have on file. There's some documents you have to sign, all of that. So we do it as quickly as we can. We don't want to hold anybody. I streamline. If you're ready to go, it's a streamlined process to get you into those application queue. Some people might need a little bit of help, and that's okay too. If they're not ready to go 100%, then they get booked with a consultation call with their one-on-one consultant, and that person is going to review their entire entity structure, their credit, their everything that they have, and they're going to give them the plan of what it takes to get them to funding. And sometimes it's a matter of your utilization is another piece. You have to have under 35% utilized on your personal, and then under 50% utilized on any existing business cards. So sometimes it's a matter of paying a pay down and letting it reflect on your credit, because credit bureaus, the information from each lender that you have only comes once a month. So you can do rapid rescores. That's a whole different process, and there's a money involved with that, but we don't do that here. But if you have a Bank of America card and you pay it down, it's not going to report to whatever the next natural cycle is to report to the credit bureau. We can tell you what that is. It tells you on your credit, on the bank level credit report, when it's reporting. So we can go, okay, it reports on the 17th. So on the 18th, we're going to pull your credit, make sure it reflected, and we're good to go. And when we pull your credit, it's a soft pull. It's never going to hurt you. So we're able to do all that to make sure you're perfect, good to go before you get into the actual pulls from the lender.
So 2 to 3 weeks. So you're able to tell us pretty quickly in the beginning, though, kind of what you feel like you'd be able to get as far as the amount of limit, whether it's 50,000, 100,000, or whatever it is.
Yeah, if you do a pre-qual online, or if you come into the business development team, they're going to run a pre-qual for you, and they're going to tell you the results they expect. On average, we say we expect between 30 and 60,000 in your first round. Of course, that is an average. Some people are going to can get far more. I've got people who've gotten 150 in the first round. Of course, that's somebody who probably has an 800 credit score, who probably has a seasoned corporation, because there is something to say for that. How long have you been in business? We can work with startups. We don't need it to be something that you've had for 6 years. But there is a piece of that happens. They may also have had really strong relationships with one of the major lenders. So if you bank your business with Chase Bank, that's going to be your best result anyway, no matter what you do. So we always look at that side of it too. And so it's 30 to 60 is the average. But if you actually come in to do a pre-qual, come in, I mean on the phone, you can find out what your specific case would be. And if you have like minor things, they'll even say, hey, once you make this pay down, you're going to get between, 40 and 50. Our system does tell them that as well.
Okay. And from what I remember, you get assigned to a rep, and then that rep kind of updates you along the way, lets you know which cards you get approved, and, kind of walks you through the process. Is that right?
Yeah, so we actually have improved that since you've been in the program. So we have a solid team of incoming client relations. So anytime you need to call into the office, we're here. We have a whole team that's answering those questions. You are assigned 2 different reps within your time period here. You have your actual client rep who's going to see you through the entire process, start to finish. And then your negotiator is assigned only when you're in the middle of doing applications and negotiations. We always try to get you back with the same negotiator, but sometimes if we're just trying to get you in as quick as we can, you might get somebody else. But your actual client rep who gives you all those, constant check-ins and constantly making sure you're good, that's the same from the time that you start until you're done.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Just as a reminder, guys that have just jumped on, if you have any questions, and we're starting to get a couple in the chat box, I'm going to address those here in a minute. But if you have any questions, please throw those in there. And then, so Amanda, if I don't know, let's say I'm a 670 or a 660 FICO score, and, I'm not at that level yet, should I just not even bother, or are you able to kind of give me some direction?
Oh yeah. So if you're close, I mean, I think 620 is where they like cut and like, no, we shouldn't even move forward, right? You've got a lot you got to work on. But if you're a 650, 660, sometimes the things that need to be done aren't going to take as long as you think, right? Because some things affect your credit more than you realize. But you can come into the program and we actually will hold your membership and not start your 12 months until you're ready for funding if you need to work on things on your credit. So, and we will coach you through what it is that needs to happen, what things need to be removed, what things need to be paid down. All of that, our staff is trained on making sure that they give you that information. If you need actual credit repair, it doesn't mean you can't sign up. Again, we'll hold you and not start your membership. You're not going to lose any of that while you work on credit repair. But if you need like major credit repair, I would suggest you do that first, only because you might need that money in order to do the credit repair or to pay something down or, to pay off a collection or something like that. So, but it doesn't hurt to call and find out. That's what my team's here for. And there's no charge to do a pre-qual and get that plan and let you know exactly where you stand.
Do you guys work with credit repair companies or not really?
Yeah, we have one. It's called Kadam Credit Help. So we can refer people over. We can even get a discount for you to go over there and let them work on it. But I always make sure people know you can go whoever you want. Credit repair is not fast. No matter what company you go to, it is not a fast process. I unfortunately went through a divorce and have been through credit repair, and I used Kadam Credit and they did amazing things for me, but I had to be patient because it took I think it was 18 months for me, but I needed major credit repair. So I just let the process happen and it takes time. Some things are really quick. So it's not that credit repair, it's just in general a slower process because you're at the mercy of the bureaus and the bureaus just do what they want. They're not fair. They're not here for the consumer. They are here for the lender. That's what they're for.
Okay. One thing that I wanted to touch on that you mentioned earlier is I guess it's various organizations that have business credit separately. And you mentioned Amazon, and a lot of us that do short-term rentals, we buy maybe too much stuff from Amazon. And so how does that work? Is it just the Amazon Business Prime that you go through, or?
No, so that's corporate credit. So it's a different side, which was included in the membership. So those are vendor trade lines. That's where you have to register with Duns & Bradstreet. If you haven't already, we have a whole portal for that, and building up your Paydex score. So those are going to be your net trade lines. So net 30, net 60, net 90 day type of accounts. Difference in that is obviously you can only use that trade line at that specific vendor. So your Home Depot, your Uline, there's tons and tons and tons of offers out there for the corporate credit. So we always suggest that you also do that because that is non-PG. You do not have to personally guarantee it. It is only through your EIN with your business. And it will be long-term a great benefit for you because it is something that if you stick with it, You build and build and build. You keep getting more and more on those lines, and it can turn into actual corporate loans. So this building that I'm sitting in, Fund&Grow, we practice what we preach. We actually bought with a mortgage on the commercial lending side with our whole corporate credit. We purchased this building, and this is $1 million building, and it was non-PG, and it was an amazing benefit to have that we wouldn't have had we not done that building on the corporate side. So we always recommend that people do that. And then even after your membership, you want to keep doing it, keep using those trade lines, keep getting those increases, keep applying for more with that EIN number so you can keep building it.
Very cool. So if I'm hearing you correctly, and if I have multiple legal entities, multiple businesses, but I'm not doing anything with Dun & Bradstreet, do you guys give us some direction on that as well, as far as how to set that up?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the client portal, has all the information right there for you, all for your entire membership. It's there. You keep working on it. And actually our premium coaching subscribers, which is an add-on that we have for our clients, if you stay with that, it actually keeps you with access to the corporate side as well. But that's a little bit different. That's a $50 a month commitment for people. You get a free 30-day trial of that when you sign up to see if you want it. And then if you do have it after your membership, it will let you keep having access to that portal.
All right, very cool. So I'm definitely gonna, when we talk with our clients and our students about going after master lease strategies, and we're talking with multifamily building owners and large real estate developers, to build up your Dun & Bradstreet and your Paydex score is something we should be doing anyway, just naturally, because it gives us that credibility when we're negotiating, a 36-month lease on a 20-unit building. It's good to have that in parallel as well. And so that's definitely something that's productive just all on its own, right? So
it is. Yeah.
All right, so let's drill through some of the questions we have so far. And so the obvious question, I think, for a lot of folks is, well, what is the fee? What is the flat fee? How does that work?
All right, so our normal fee is $39.97, so just under $4,000. However, we're offering anyone who comes in through your group a $500 discount, so the flat fee is $34.97. However, we do have some payment plan options also. So you can come in for as little as $1,332, so just right around $1,300, and then you can actually hold your payments and pay with the credit we obtain for you, so that you don't have to front all of that money. So we do have as many options. We try to make it as feasible as we can. And so those are the types of options that we have. I know, Rich, I gave you a link, so you can feel free to give it to them. You can either just directly sign up. You can give us a call and we'll do a pre-qual for you. Just make sure you mention, Rich on that so that he can track his people coming through. And that gives you the discount. So also with this offer, we're going to give you what I call a BOGO. So you're going to get a buy one, get one free with a partner upgrade, meaning that if you pay for the membership, then you can add on a secondary at no additional charge, and they're going to get the same benefits as you. They're totally different business. They'll get their own credit, all of that. So we give you both for that same price. It can be either a business partner, it can be a spouse, or, a boyfriend, girlfriend. It can be a cousin. Just make sure it's somebody that because you do share a portal together. So make sure it's someone you trust to know that information's in there. But it does give you your own separate set. So technically you would get up to $500,000 in business credit and up to $200,000 in corporate credit. So we're also offering that as an added bonus for coming through.
That's awesome, guys. So if you're on if you're just on the cusp of the credit score, a lot of us as real estate investors, we're using our credit quite frequently, and so if you're not at that 700 or above level, that's a perfect way. Go out and get a business partner to get involved, and basically someone that's got better credit, and like Amanda said, that you've got a relationship with already. And it's a good way to kind of jump in and get a twofer, because then you can still get help on building your own credit in the meantime. As well.
And also, Rich, just so you know, one of the things that people don't realize is that when you get business credit and you stop using your personal credit, you actually will improve your personal credit pretty quickly just by getting that stuff off. Getting those debts off of your personal will immediately increase your score. Immediately, just getting all that debt off of there, because your debt to credit ratio is a huge chunk of your credit score.
Absolutely. Definitely makes sense. So another question, we talked about this earlier, but what is considered a seasoned business?
So, a seasoned business for most lending practices is going to be 2 years. However, we don't need your business to be seasoned. We can use a startup. We actually have started seeing recently where a brand new LLC is getting amazing results. Previously, we would want like 6 months for an LLC. So the lending trends always change. A seasoned business in the lending industry is considered 2 years plus. However, like I said, we don't need it to be 2 years plus. We can still get you great results. That doesn't matter to us. But an LLC is going to do better than a sole prop. Corporation is going to do better than an LLC. That's how that works. But I will say a brand new corporation actually won't do as good as a brand new LLC. I don't know why. Nobody can explain these things to me. It's just the trend that we see, and how we, that's how we build these offers and build these cases up for your specific profile.
Okay, makes sense. So this next question, if you're still watching, maybe you can clarify for us, but the question is, what is the name of the credit report company you guys recommend? And so, I know there's three major bureaus that do credit reporting. I don't know if it's different for business credit.
I think they might need credit repair. They might need credit repair company.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. That's probably what they're meaning.
Yeah, it's Kadam Credit Help is the name of the company. They're in Florida. If you're searching for them, it's just credit. It's kadamcredithelp.com is their website. On their website, you can schedule a consultation. It's free, and they can review your credit for you, tell you exactly what kind of credit repair you need. And if you tell them that Fund&Grow sent you over, they'll usually give you like a 10% discount without even, being a Fund&Grow member.
All right, I was just looking that up. So how is it spelled again?
Kadam, Kaydem, credithelp.com.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll just throw that link in the chat as well. The other question we have is, how can I find out what my Paydex score is?
Okay, so your Paydex score, Zach, where do we find the Paydex? Sorry, Zach's my producer. He's also been here for over 10 years and has been a negotiator. He knows everything. Where do they find their Paydex score?
Paydex score would be through Dun & Bradstreet's website.
Okay. Dun & Bradstreet is who controls that side. So you'd have to go through them to get if you already have a Dun & Bradstreet set up and you have, you've already got corporate trade lines, then that's where you would find your Paydex score. And then you would know if you've had that, you would have to have set it up, obviously. And then they offer services too, in order to help you set up your Dun & Bradstreet too. If you wanted to pay, we don't do it for you. We give you all the information. We show you exactly how to do it, but they do offer a service if you want to pay Dun & Bradstreet to help you get through that. I don't know anything about it. I'm not telling you I recommend it because I've never done it myself. I actually think it's pretty easy to do on your own, but if you wanted someone to do it, I believe they actually offer it themselves.
Okay, awesome. And so I put the link out there for the credit repair company that Amanda was referring to as well. So as we're winding down here, Amanda, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that we should cover?
I think that it would be beneficial for everyone to just, get a pre-qual. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't cost you anything. See where you're at. If you're using your personal credit, no matter whether you come here or you go somewhere else or you do it yourself, I really strongly encourage you to get business credit and stop using your personal credit, because that is dragging you down and it's never going to stop. And in the real estate game, your credit is kind of needed. So you don't want to drag it down. Because even if I'm sure that when you're doing some of the leasing things you were talking about, your credit matters for those types of deals. So when you have business credit, you can be having tons of spending power without hurting your credit. So I just caution people on using their personal credit for things like that, because you know what, when you do have an emergency and you've overextended yourself because you've put it all here, now your personal life might not be in the best place because you don't have any credit available. You don't have anything there to be that rainy day that a lot of people use their personal cards for. So, and then again, as soon as you get it off your credit, it's going to improve it. It's going to, you're going to stop hitting the credit. It's going to stop hurting it. And in the end, it's probably going to make you a better buying position, a better, business position by having by having the business credit, by having the corporate credit going, and by having, your personal credit in good place.
Definitely makes a lot of sense. So I also put the Fund and Grow webinar link in the chat. Check out the webinar. If you have any questions, there's some links in there to schedule a call with Fund and Grow as well. Make sure, if you guys are seriously interested, to sign up and get the $500 discount. Make sure to mention my name and/or reach out to me as well, and we'll make sure that you get that discount in there. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this session, I've used these guys. They're professionals. They know what they're doing. I like to stay in my lane and focus on what I do. And so it's definitely helps to have professionals kind of, help you with your business. And so, Amanda, thank you so much again for jumping on and doing this with us. As a reminder, B&B Investing Group, we also help investors learn how to do short-term rentals if you want to grow and make a scalable business. If you have any questions about that as well, reach out to me directly on Facebook Messenger. Again, Amanda, thank you so much. And next time I come down to Tampa, I'll come visit you guys.
Absolutely. Let us know. Come visit the office. Thank you guys so much.
All right. Sounds good. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for jumping on the B&B Investing podcast this week. Please click on the subscribe and like button below. For more trainings, property tours, and content, you can join my B&B Investing Facebook group by clicking below. If you are ready to grow your short-term rental portfolio and maximize your monthly income, you can click on the link below to schedule a quick strategy call with Rich or someone from his team to see how we can help or point you in the right direction. Stay tuned for our next episode and hope to see you on the B&B Investing Group podcast.